Hey guys, Jack on Wrist here, back with another video, and in today's video, I want to talk about why Grand Seiko is so underappreciated. So I made a video about 2 months ago talking about why people are skeptical to buy a Grand Seiko, and that was really a list of reasons that I aggregated as to why people are really hesitant to pull the trigger on a Grand Seiko and are afraid to maybe buy one. And that video didn't necessarily reflect my personal beliefs on the brand and also why they're really underappreciated in my opinion. So in today's video, I want to share that stance on why I think Grand Seiko is so underappreciated. Now in my previous Grand Seiko video, there was a little bit of confusion. I personally love the brand. I want to make that very clear before I start off this video. So I want to start off this video with a little bit of a story, a little anecdote about watches. So through a couple of different family connections, I've actually been able to get to know a man with multiple millions of dollars pretty well. Now this guy actually has a pretty nice watch collection as he has lots of money and wants somewhere to spend it. And I actually made a video on his collection, link in the description below if you want to take a look at a couple of his crazy pieces. But this guy actually was telling me about his collection, his journey buying watches. And what I learned from this guy is that when he started buying watches, and even to this day, he really only looks for the marquee big brands like Rolex, Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe. And I think that really lies the problem with a brand like Grand Seiko. You see, this guy with lots of money to spend on watches, when he wanted to go buy one, he didn't look at Grand Seiko. In fact, he doesn't even know what Grand Seiko is, and that's because they're just not popular enough for him. Grand Seiko just isn't well known enough in the real world, I should say. I mean, obviously in the watch community, we all know what Grand Seiko is, we all know the value there, but people who are outside of the watch bubble don't really know much about it, and they're not gonna go flock to Grand Seiko and buy one. I think this is a huge issue for Grand Seiko and their popularity, and this I think pertains to why they're so underappreciated. As brands with the biggest name cachet that are the most well-known do really well, obviously in terms of sales outside and inside the watch community. Think about brands like Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet. They're mentioned in all these different hip-hop songs. They're talked about all the time by celebrities. And they're doing well, obviously, because people know about them. People want to buy one. But if you're Grand Seiko, no one knows about you, and thus no one really wants to buy one. And yes, really quickly, I've bought Grand Seiko before. I'm sure you maybe have bought one. I'm not saying nobody wants to buy one, but I am saying that generally speaking, if you're not within the watch world, within the know of watches, you don't really want to buy a Grand Seiko. In fact, like I said, you probably don't even know what it is. Unfortunately for the watch community, I think the outside world, outside of the watch bubble, knowing what a brand is and valuing it really does have a huge impact on the brand within the watch community. I mean, like I said with my $1 million friend, when he wanted to buy a watch, he went to these big name Swiss brands, the brands he knows. And not a lot of people know about Grand Seiko. And yes, not a lot of people know about a lot of other specific watch brands, but I think it's really more of an uphill battle for Grand Seiko because they're not Swiss made, because their movements are a little bit different with that spring drive that I think not a lot of people really understand it, with the quartz movements. Yes, they have mechanical, but again, it's just an uphill battle for Grand Seiko, and I think that really leads to be a problem for them. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think that people being unaware of the brand outside of the watch bubble is really causing them to be underappreciated within the world as a whole? That's my opinion, but again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.